Hello, I'm Kathy Mendiola with Corpus Christi Independent School District's Office of Instructional Technology. Today, I will be taking you through the layout portion of our Get Googled series. We begin layout on the left side of the screen with our New button. By clicking the New button, we have multiple options. One being to create a new folder, upload an individual file, or a folder full of already existing data. I can also create a new Google Doc, a new Google Sheet, or slide, or any other Google formatted file or application that we have access to. Beneath the New button is My Drive. My Drive is the equivalent of our U Drive or our local storage drive inside of Google. Notice that there is an arrow to the left of My Drive. That indicates that there are more folders inside of the My Drive folder. Just like you would have inside your My Documents folder or inside of your U Drive once you have started creating your file structure. Different folders organized by title and then the contents therein related to the title of that folder. So with My Drive, anything that you upload or create in My Drive is only visible by you unless you have shared that folder or file with another person. You'll hear more about My Drive and sharing and creating new things and uploading from Miss Brandy a little bit later. Now notice right now My Drive is red. If I come down and I click on Conferences, now Conferences is red. What that is telling me is that that is where I currently am. So if I hit the New button and choose Create a New Folder, that folder would be created inside of the Conferences folder. Beneath My Drive is the Shared with Me folder. This is the location where everything will come up that has been shared with you by another person. So if you have an email that says, someone has invited you to edit or collaborate with them, and there's a link, this is where it's going to take you. Google Photos is what you can use to store your district-related photos from a device, whether it be a district-owned iPad, tablet, computer, phone, etc. Recent. Recent is the things that you have most recently opened or worked in. These are all arranged by date, and so it works just like your recent documents in Windows. Beneath Recent is Starred. So just as we created bookmarks for Google Chrome, you can also star folders or files inside of Google Drive. What this does is it creates sort of a favorites of projects or things that you might be working on. And again, you'll go more into depth on that with Miss Brandy a little bit later. Beneath Starred is Trash. Now, the trash, anything that you put inside of your trash is going to remain there for 14 days. After 14 days, it is automatically emptied. So be cautious when you put things in the trash and know that even if you do not empty the trash, it will be emptied for you automatically every 2 weeks. Now, next we're going to move on to the center portion of the screen where we have this search drive window and the magnifying glass. Here's My Drive with the down arrow. If I choose that, it's going to give me different options again, just like if we're clicking on the New button. Again, if we have My Drive selected in red over here, if I say New Folder, it's going to put it inside of My Drive. In the center portion of the screen, this is where you have your folders and your files that you've created and organized or uploaded in Google. Above My Drive here, there's this search drive. What this does is it allows you to search for files or folders by keyword. The neat thing about this is that you can search by keyword and it will search both the name of your document and the contents therein, and it's not going to go out and do an internet search. It's only going to search the things that you have access to in Google Drive. The next thing that we're going to cover is the details and activity that's available in Google Drive. So if I choose a folder here by clicking it once, so it's highlighted blue, and I come up over here on the right upper corner to this little bubble with an eye. If I just hold my mouse, hover over it by just putting my mouse over it but not clicking, it gives me the name and it says View Details. So if I click that little information button, I get a new window. This is your details and activity pane. Now what this is, it's going to keep and show you the details and activity of that particular folder or file that you have highlighted. Here it's the conferences folder. So in activity, it's going to keep a list of anyone that has done anything inside of this folder for the life of the folder or the file. Now that's really neat, especially for sharing documents. If you've got something that disappeared or was moved mistakenly from one place to another, you can go to the folder that you know that it was in originally, choose it by highlighting it, clicking once, going to the information bubble, coming over to activity, and let's say it was removed. Then here we could see that this particular folder was removed, by whom, with the date. We know we're looking at the activity because there's this thick here is convert uploads. Notice that I have this checkbox next to convert uploaded files to Google Docs editor format. What that means is that if I have a document that I created on my desktop computer, let's say I used Word, if I created it locally on my computer and I saved it on my desktop or in my documents, and I decide I would like to store this in Google Drive, with this box checked, instead of uploading it as just a Word document, it's going to convert it to a Google formatted document so that I have all the features and functions of Google Docs once it's uploaded. The only word of caution is to be careful if you have documents with a lot of formatting or tables in them. Sometimes it can get misaligned. Again, you're going to learn more about that specifically with Miss Brandy. So again, the only thing you really need to focus on here is the convert uploads. I recommend that everybody check this box off and click done. Now, so we've talked about the settings, we've talked about the information button. To the left of the information button is this A to Z. These are your sort options. What it's going to allow you to do is change the way that your folders and files in Drive are organized. Maybe you need to look for something that you last modified or opened, depending on what it is, the task at hand. So here's where you could change the way that you are sorting the things in My Drive. To the left of that, you're going to see these four little squares. That's your grid view. So what it's telling you is that if you click this button, it's going to change your current view to grid view. So if I click that button, it's going to show me grid view. Grid view is sort of the thumbnail view like that you have in Windows if you're using a Windows computer. Now that icon that was formerly four squares, it looks like 3 lines with dots on the left of them. That means that's list view. So now if I choose that, it's going to change from grid view back to list view. Those are the two options that we have inside of Drive. If you have the 3 little buttons, you can say more, and you can open things in a different application, create a new folder there, move things, star them, change colors, rename, or in a multitude of other things. Again, you're going to learn more about those functions with Miss Brandy a little later. The trash can icon is to remove or delete that particular file or folder. The person with the plus is to share that particular thing with more staff members. The final thing that we're going to cover today is just above this row of tools where we have the little icon and the alarm notification. We're going to focus here on these 9 blocks. So if I click that, this is going to give me access to the Google and integration applications. What that does is that allows me to move from Google Drive to maybe my Google Contacts, Groups, Docs, or any other Google application that we have access to. There are 60 plus applications that we have access to as a district. So this is going to be where you can go to go back and forth between the different applications depending on the task at hand.